Hello everyone, and welcome to this very unwanted but what I believe is necessary video. As I am sure most of you are aware, many things came out about Tignari's English voice actor Elliot Gindi. This was huge news for the fandom because most people had a positive opinion of him, thinking he was funny and a great choice for the character of Tignari. And this was also the first time the Genshin Impact fandom had experienced this level of controversy before. So many are upset about this situation. Most of the cast has addressed this, and there were a lot of people talking about it and formed some strong opinions. This is the biggest reason why I made this video. The fandom became very aware of what happened, and people were vocal on their thoughts. But not everybody agrees on how someone should react, what sentiments are right or not, and if the energy is helping the situation in the long run. So I wanted to clear the air and give my thoughts on the matter because I think these conversations are taking away the needed energy of getting rid of Gindi's platform. Before I begin, like I said earlier, I am sure most of you are aware of what Gindi has been accused of. For those who are not, he has said some shit. He has admitted to being guilty of pedophilia, transphobia, sexism, grooming, ableism, abusive behavior, and overall inappropriate relations with teen fans. I am not going into detail or showing any screenshots, but just so everyone knows that these are topics that are going to be covered in this video and that they are unavoidable. If any of these topics greatly upset your mental well-being, please don't force yourself to watch this. You are most important. But if you are okay with continuing, let's first start off with the initial tweet that brought this all to light. On February 7th, one of Gindi's former Discord moderators, @FretCore on Twitter, came out with a Google Doc containing screenshots accusing and proving Gindi's guilt of all of this shit on screen. I skimmed through the doc, and the shit he said to teenagers, children, is vile. Straight up evil. He was completely abusing his power, manipulating and gaslighting, and I am very proud of the survivors for having the courage to speak up about this. I wish you all the best in your journeys towards healing. As you may have noticed, I used the word accusations because by definition it is a more powerful word than allegations. Allegations imply that the claims are lacking evidence to prove their authenticity. They may not be true, essentially. Accusations have proof, and there is a lot of it for this situation. And the day after, he blacked out his account like a little loser, threw a pity party for himself, and posted a tweet that links to twitlonger.com. This was the saddest, most pathetic thing I have ever seen in a while. And because I am very giddy to make fun of this man, I will be doing a dramatic reading of his apology tweet. You're welcome in advance. I am deeply sorry to those I hurt. It was never my intention to hurt anyone. I tried to keep it above board. I thought everything was consensual and safe. I tried to tell myself I could make it ethical and with clear communication and boundaries. I was so wrong, and I realized this, which is why I tried to come clean to everyone I know, log off and get therapy. To those who believed in me even after I came clean, I'm sorry to have let you down. Please do not use this as an opportunity to bash other cast members or the game. No one knew. What is true? All of the screenshots of the chat logs. Yes, all of the cringy sex talk. Yes, I did threaten suicide if it got out. I didn't think through the severity of that. I'm sorry. I never intended to change someone ace. They insisted this is what they wanted. I ended things, but later gave in to emotional weakness and re-engaged when I was offered a chance to. What is not true? That I knowingly did anything with anyone underage. That I did not respect someone's pronoun changes. I was not waiting for someone 15 to turn 18. I flatly rejected them. What the fuck does that mean? Anyways, other questionable practices. There are times when I've streamed in my boxers. But there was never any sexual intention nor focus meant by this. I did not realize it could be interpreted that way, and I apologize profusely to anyone who was made uncomfortable by this. In addition, I did not engage with anyone in the ways described above. outside of those 3 people I was involved with. I understand what I did was wrong and inappropriate, and to the best of my ability, tried to confess as much to those I contacted. I reacted inappropriately to situations where I felt desired, and caused harm to so many people in the process. I understand that my actions have consequences, and am committing myself to accepting my responsibility while making the effort to get and do better. So yeah, nobody took that very well. Not well at all, in fact. It also doesn't help that the day before the accusations came out, he posted a tweet that because of all this attention he is getting voice acting in Genshin, that he needs to take a break from social media. And his therapist suggested this. And he's a complete clown. I really don't know what else to say. He knew this was coming and he only felt bad because he got caught. Most, if not all of the reactions to this apology were negative. People really hate this guy now. His wiki changed, many voice actors came out against him, like I mentioned before, and it was officially announced that he's being removed from the game. This is still a developing story though. After the doc was released, more people came out against him with their own screenshots, and the amount of people he has abused online has gone up to 20, which is just horrific. With how much evidence is coming out, Fretcore and others have even started to push to get him arrested. There is a small minority of people who are choosing to defend his actions, which to that I say go fuck yourself. But overall, this has brought the Genshin fandom together to hate this man with a passion. These accusations, however, have of course caused multiple kinds of reactions from the community, and people have formed various opinions on what sentiments are appropriate or not. The biggest argument that happened surrounding responses is to tweets like this. These statements have been criticized for downplaying the accusations made against Gindi and caring more about a video game character than the victims. To be completely honest, I have to agree. It's just a childish thing to say when presented with what Elliot did. Tighnari is separate from his VA and would hate Gindi for what he did. Yeah, duh. That's so obvious, it should not have to be said out loud. Guys, it's an empty statement. They think they are putting in meaningful commentary, but they aren't. Y'all sound like 12-year-olds on Wattpad, Jesus Christ. I have seen some users call these people clout chasers or imply that they are bad because they have made a tweet similar to this. But this is also where my opinion deviates a little. I don't think these people are purposefully being malicious with these tweets. Misguided is the word I would use. Essentially, Tighnari fans are trying to defend themselves through this argument. They are worried about being perceived as a supporter of Gindi for liking Tighnari, so they hide behind this to seem less blatant about it. Maybe they also don't want to be seen as selfish for saying this. Obviously, they don't want to be harassed, but also don't want to seem like they don't care about the victims. So they use the collective of Tighnari fans and say they don't condone Gindi's behavior as a way to manage that. Not trying to psychoanalyze Twitter users, but yeah, that's my read on the situation. To make myself clear, I don't like these tweets. Just say not to harass people, simple as that. Believe it or not, but people are not complete fucking idiots. It is fairly easy for a person to separate an animated character from their actor. That's a huge reason why this kind of media usually has more fan art. It doesn't need to be said, and it's a very ignorant, immature, tone-deaf thing to say overall. This news has spread like wildfire, so it's unsurprising that it has caught the attention of people from outside the Genshin fandom. I have seen many people point out the embarrassing comments made by the Tighnari fans I just mentioned, but the conversation quickly derailed into a Genshin hate thread. This is not an appropriate time to discuss your dislike of the actual game. There are real people affected and traumatized by this. Nobody in the fandom or outside gives a shit about your cold takes about Genshin. You make a tweet criticizing people for not taking this situation seriously and proceed to do the same damn thing. How do you manage that? While I have only seen this once or twice, I have seen celebrations of the fact that there was a pedophile working on Genshin, which is disturbing as all hell. They think they are so goddamn hilarious posting this shit. I'm sure the people hurt by Gindi would love to see these kinds of posts, and you wouldn't have the balls to put these replies where they could see them. Because you are all clearly victim blaming under the guise of shit posting. You are all pathetic cowards. And y'all aren't even creative. Like, what the fuck is this? Just seriously, walk yourselves out. I am embarrassed for you. More uncommon knowledge outside of the fanbase is how often there are dramas that involve the voice actors. They are often about a single shitty tweet, actually a good 90% of them, but there are unique incidents. Most recently, there was a drama involving Cream Unicorn Cookie's voice actor, Joshua David King, and Candace's voice actress, Shara Kirby. Basically, what happened was that King tweeted about wanting to burn down the BL industry, and that overall he thinks the genre is fetishizing gay men, and he doesn't like fujoshis as well. Shara Kirby agreed with him in the dislike of fujoshis. Those who consume BL content did not receive these tweets well, and King deleted his tweets and made a statement defending his position, and that was mocked as well. To be fair, King said some pretty dumb stuff about the BL genre. Fun fact, many young queer people enjoy BL, especially young queer women. There is a huge misunderstanding from people who are outside fandom culture that think mostly straight women consume gay fan fiction or BL. This is not true. It has not been true since the 90s to late 2000s. The LGBTQ+ community has dominated fandom spaces and is just generally attracted to anime fandoms in general. Saying people who like and or write BL nowadays are fetishizing gay men is a simply uninformed statement. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. There are some authors who write some weird ass shit. The fetishization spectrum is straight women indulging in their fantasies to mentally ill 13-year-olds. So you're going to get some variety, but most people who read or write BL are queer themselves, or someone with good intentions, and are not out to make fetishizing content. While you could say that this content being geared towards a female audience is a bit of a problem, which, yeah, I can see that. King's views on BL that line up with what I fixed on this, because blown out of proportion, sure, I'll give you that, but uncalled for, they may be a bit called for depending on the drama. So let's go over them, because it does help paint a picture for this situation. The most infamous case here is Karina. There is a group who really don't like Karina because of their behavior on social media. There have been many tweets circulating over the past year and a half of Karina having shitty takes and getting mad when others disagree. They did make a new Twitter account because their first one was nuked for violating Twitter policy, allegedly. I don't really understand why this is a person the fandom likes to hate. One, even if I knew jack shit about what they did online, I still heard about them last year. But from what I can tell, it has been radio silence from Karina for a while now. No new dramas. Second, there is a surprising lack of evidence proving that they were or are harassing other fans. For as petty as this saga of drama has been, there are no fucking screenshots. Like, come on guys, really? I expected better. I have seen screenshots from their TikTok account, but jack shit from Twitter. And that's the platform everybody complained about their behavior the most. This is the internet. No matter how much you try, you can't just say anything and expect everyone to believe you. Screenshots are really important. But from what I have seen, I don't think these users have a good enough case to get people to end Karina's time with this role. While I am not denying that the behavior described could be considered harassment, it needs to be supported by evidence. And I'm sorry, but I just don't see any good, solid proof. Luckily, the rest of the dramas I'm going over today actually have videos and screenshots to back them up. Koi Dao, a while back, made a tweet about how he thinks he looks like a lesbian, deleted it after criticism, and made an apology. As a lesbian, I personally am not too bugged by these kinds of jokes, but I completely understand why other lesbians are. It's just a very odd thing to say. It stereotypes lesbians, yeah, not great, and it doesn't help that men do say weird things about lesbians and affect their public image way more than you think. So it's a very tired topic for the community. I think it was right of him to delete the tweet and apologize, but it's not a completely unforgivable sin. Like Rambo did the same exact thing and we all forgave him, and I saw the whole thing go down and cared even less then, so whatever. More recently, Sean Chiplock, D-Luke's voice actor, has dug himself into a hole with some interesting things he has said or done. During a convention while he was playing Smash or Pass, He said smash to Sayu. Many were made uncomfortable by this clip because of the little girl teenager vibe Sayu has. But I doubt that this was made as a serious statement. From what I can interpret, this was a joke meant to make fun of the kind of people who would do this and rile up Twitter users who would be upset by a joke like this. Like the way he delivered the joke, like how someone online would talk about their ridiculous fictional crush, it had a very similar energy. The joke really fell flat. The more recent incident would have to do with his lack of action during the earthquakes in the Turkey-Syria border area. His followers criticized him for not at least retweeting any fundraisers or charities connected to the tragedy. I have seen some bring this up as a way to try to get rid of him along with Gindi, which is going overboard. Like guys, from what I could find on the internet, these were the only things he has done which could be considered offensive. I mean, yeah, it was really unfunny, but you're not getting sent to super hell for that. And with the earthquake controversy, I feel it was also a bit unfair. I understand why it would be good for people with an audience to share these charities. I do, it really does help. But from what I can gather, he uses his Twitter account to promote himself in the various conventions he attends. And he doesn't have a more personal Twitter account. So I understand why he wouldn't want to keep that stuff up on his account. Like, it would seem disingenuous. Like, hey, look at me and what a good person I am. Find me at this anime con. And people want to get rid of him for this? Like, if these are the most problematic things he has done, I think he's a pretty good guy. Just saying. Just to quickly pop in, I have recently found out there are racism allegations made against him, but the details are very vague, and apparently he said the N-word, and then he made an apology saying it was 10 years back and whatever, but can't find the apology because his original Twitter account is gone. And for the blackface shit, some are saying it was a different D-Luke voice actor. I don't know, it's very vague. I don't want to touch that topic with a 10-foot stick. Anyways, I understand why people have gotten upset over these incidents. A lot of these actors have a public platform and should know how to handle it responsibly, especially because they connect these accounts to their careers. But people are going to fuck up sometimes. Not quite as spectacularly as Gindi has, but they are human. They are going to make mistakes. Other actors I have not talked about in this section have been attacked for way less. It's ridiculous. Certain fans have gone overboard when trying to correct mistakes, and that's simply not the way to handle things. It's important that we politely point out when they have done wrong and try to help them understand as best as possible. People tend to listen better when you are polite about these kinds of things. And if they respond back aggressively, you don't look like the asshole. So yeah, just be kind to people over the internet. This all, of course, connects back to the reaction to Elliot's actions. From what I have just talked about, many in the Genshin fanbase expect the staff who are working on the game to be good people. The voice actors are very popular in the fanbase because of their friendliness, humor, and talent. The fanbase wants and expects for the actors to be morally sound. So the screenshots that were released by Fratcore shook the community. We were and are very disturbed. This all represents the exact opposite of what standards are held for them. And this situation is worse than what would be expected based on the previous dramas. The Genshin fandom has never seen this level of evil from a prominent member of the community before, and the fandom at large was not necessarily equipped to react to this situation with grace and maturity in the moment. It has been around a month since everything came out against Gindi, and I am just as shocked, to be honest. I never ever want to hear about this kind of stuff. It makes me feel sick having to hear about someone abusing their power to hurt people. I felt so drained looking at the screenshots. The way he typed was as if he had copied and pasted manipulative texts and just sent them out. It's awful. I can only hope that he is arrested. While usually there aren't consequences for these people, his connection to Genshin and outcry from fans could possibly work. If anything, I hope this incident will get him blacklisted from the industry forever. If I hear about him getting more work like this, I will seriously lose it. Fans of a piece of media want to feel safe while engaging in fandom. Women make up the majority of mobile gaming players. Mobile is the most important platform for Genshin because of how accessible it is, especially for minors. Like, I can't afford to go out and buy a nice gaming computer, but I do have my phone. This is what makes the situation as scary as it is. There are many young fans of Genshin who also identify as female, are trans, or fall under another queer label. We exist, and we are seeing members of our community being taken advantage of. It's terrifying that he had so much access to people he could prey on. We could be having very important discussions right now about online safety, supporting those who have been affected by online abuse, and so much more. But we are arguing over whether or not it is okay to talk about Tighnari denouncing Elliot's behavior. It's so pointless and stupid. After all of this has gone down, I hope the fandom can learn from its mistakes and become a more positive and safe place for all. I'm so sorry that this is such a heavy video, especially after my more recent videos being so light, but I felt it was very important to talk about. There was a lot of immature behavior I was seeing and was embarrassed for everyone posting dumb shit, and it made me angry how ignorant some people were being. I wish the person who was taking on Tighnari's role the best because, oh my god. I hope that this video was informative, at least a little bit. If I got anything wrong or missed something, please feel free to leave a comment. I like hearing other readings on situations. I appreciate y'all for watching this far, especially with how more emotional I was during this whole thing. Really, I do appreciate it. Again, my heart goes out to the survivors. You are not only survivors, in the wise words of Bose, you are all bad bitches. I hope the rest of your day gets better. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.